any DOT member, if anyone, if by any chance is still behind, I know that most of the team are here with our Captain John from the Staten Ferry, but feel free to join us if you are not. Good afternoon. My name is Danis Rodriguez, and I'm the Commissioner of the New York City Department of Transportation. We are here today with three agencies together. We, DOT, DCAS, the New York City Economic Development Corporation. This is one of the efforts of Mayor Eric Adams to be sure that agencies work together to deliver results for the City of New York. On behalf of Mayor Eric Adams, it is my pleasure to welcome you today to the Whitehall Staten Island Ferry Terminal as we announce how New York City waterways are going to become greener and cleaner as the Staten Island Ferry and NYC Ferry begin testing the use of renewable diesel fuel in our vote. I'm honored to be joined here by NYC Department of Citywide Administrative Services, a great friend, great commissioner, Commissioner Luis Molina from DCAS, NYC Economic Development Corporation, great partners on everything that we do to here, President and CEO Andrew Kimball, and New York League of Conservation Borders, Homeblower, and NYC Ferry. As Transportation Commissioner, one of my top priorities, and the priority of Mayor Eric Adams, is to make sure our local transportation sector are more sustainable. Nearly 28% of greenhouse gas emissions in New York City come from transportation, and the burning of fossil fuels is at the heart of this challenge. But while the transportation sector is a major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, that means it can also be a key part of the solution. Mass transit is central to this work, and at New York City DOT, we are proud to run the Staten Island Ferry, the largest municipal ferry services in the whole country. The Staten Island Ferry provides a quick, safe, and beautiful way to commute between Manhattan and Staten Island for those who live there, for those who work there, and also for some of those 63 million tourists that came to New York City last year. Many of them, they use the Staten Island Ferry to enjoy the beautiful view of the Statue of Liberty from the ferry. And it's free. They don't have to pay. And while the waterways we navigate are blue, we are about to make them green. The Staten Island Ferry is now testing the use of renewable diesel, a 100% petroleum-free alternative to traditional diesel that can reduce emissions 60% or more. Transitioning our Staten Island Ferry fleet to renewable diesel is critical to achieving our goal of 50% reduction of CO2 emissions by 2030. This fuel is showing promising results in our initial testing, and we look forward to fully transitioning our entire fleet to renewable diesel next year. In the war against climate change, which is real, it was not invented by the Chinese, there are no deferments. We all need to do our part. While full electrification remains our goal, getting the city's ferry fleet off polluting fossil fuel make New York City a safer place for all of our residents and visitors to live because it cuts the net greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change. And we live North Carolina, we live Florida, and beside Maria, Katrina, Ida, Sandy, snowstorm, no one can deny that climate change is real, and we have to do our part to save our planet for the present and future generations. When we all work together to green our transportation system, we can achieve our climate goals faster, showing the rest of the country how we can and should be done. Before I also call both Commissioner and the President, I also want to acknowledge the great team of men and women of the captain, everyone, hundreds of men and women that led by John Garvey, Captain John Garvey, They are running our great Staten Island Ferry, and also Margaret for joining my first Deputy Commissioner that not only oversee this great operation, but she also oversee all the 5 operations. Also here we have another Deputy Commissioner, Paul Ochoa, who also is in charge of grants, finance, and many other areas. So with that, let's hear from Commissioner Molina from DCAS.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm DCAS Commissioner Luis Molina, and I'm so happy to be here today, marking a significant step forward, a step towards increased sustainability and environmental stewardship. We are excited to announce the expansion of renewable diesel fuel to our Staten Island Ferry fleet and the launch of a pilot program with NYC Ferries. I would first like to acknowledge and thank our partners here today that have been essential in our efforts to transition these ferries to renewable diesel, including DOT Commissioner Yadanis Rodriguez, EDC President and CEO Andrew Kimball, and beyond our ferries, the nearly 30 city agencies that have already transitioned their fleets, including FDNY, Sanitation, the Parks Department, and many others. Thank you. Transitioning to renewable diesel across city fleets and now to ferries is an important milestone as we reduce harmful emissions that directly impact our communities. Now, this may come as a surprise to many of you, but like the Commissioner said, renewable diesel is made from renewable resources and is petroleum-free. Used cooking oil, animal fats, and other waste products that would normally be discarded are transformed into a clean, reusable energy source that significantly reduces greenhouse gas emissions. By moving DOT Staten Island ferries to renewable diesel, our ferries are joining our nearly over 12,000 heavy-duty vehicles that have already transferred to renewable diesel. All of these efforts are helping to achieve our large climate goals while providing New Yorkers with more sustainable ways to move throughout our city. Our ferries have long been a symbol of connection and accessibility for New Yorkers, and now with this transition to renewable diesel, these vessels will not only bridge the gap in our waterways, but also bridge a meaningful gap in our fleet's sustainable practices. This initiative is also part of a larger vision under Mayor Adams to share as a city to evolve our municipal fleet to be more green and resilient overall. Renewable diesel is a major clean upgrade from traditional diesel, and as we work to incorporate electric vehicles into our workflows, to date, more than half of our city's fleet is hybrid, with over 5,000 electric vehicles joining our ranks. This is a tremendous progress, and I would like to give a big shout out to DCAS Fleet Management Team led by Deputy Commissioner Keith Kerman for his team's efforts on this front. Thank you, Keith. As we continue to electrify, renewable diesel offers all the efficiency and performance of traditional diesel, but with a dramatic reduction in harmful emissions, an estimated 60% reduction in greenhouse gases. And this is just the beginning. We're actively evaluating additional opportunities to bring renewable diesel and other clean energy solutions across all modes of city-owned transportation, whether on land or water. Today's announcement reflects the dedication and ingenuity that defines New York City. We are steadfast in our commitment to finding innovative solutions and expanding renewable diesel to the Staten Island Ferry and NYC Ferries is another powerful step in that mission. Together, we are charting a course towards a cleaner, greener, and future for every New Yorker. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now let's hear from Andrew Kimball, President of New York City Development Corporation.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Rodriguez and Commissioner Molina. It's great to be standing with you here today. One of the things I love about working in the Adams administration is the insistence on cross-agency collaboration. That starts with the mayor, that goes to First Deputy Mayor Maria Torres Springer, Deputy Mayor for Operations Mira Joshi, there is an expectation that we get big things done together, whether it's the Green Economy Action Plan or our Blue Highways Initiative or bringing renewable, low-emissions fuel to our ferries. All of this are exciting initiatives that we are all collaborating on. Now, New Yorkers love their ferries, and they love being on the water, and they're voting with their feet. We once again hit all-time records this past year with 6.2 million New Yorkers riding on the ferries. Since the mayor rolled out his Ferry Forward vision, our per-passenger subsidy has come down dramatically. Our ridership has gone up dramatically. New Yorkers are voting with their feet. They want to use the ferries to get around quickly, to get to work, to recreation, but they also want as clean a ferry system as possible. I just want to give a huge shout out to James Wong, who runs NYC Ferries, and our amazing team at NYC Ferry. So our waterways can truly unlock more sustainable transportation, both of people and goods. That means less traffic congestion and a greener New York City. That's why we're so excited about this new sustainability strategy for NYC Ferry that'll focus on immediate actions to reduce carbon footprint and a larger vision that'll help guide our fleets transition to reduce and ultimately zero emissions. Today, we're announcing the launch of a 6-month pilot program of petroleum-free, feedstock-based, odor-free, renewable diesel fuels on select vessels. This renewable fuel will be in our vessels in the coming weeks, and our goal is to pilot the program this year and next year take it fleet-wide. In addition, we're taking immediate actions to upgrade 13 of our 350 passenger vessels, our system's largest vessels, to meet the EPA's most stringent emission standards for vessels of this size. Through these conversions alone, we expect to reduce pollutants by up to 65%. It means cleaner air for our waterfronts, but we're also looking forward to what's next and what additionally we can do to prepare our ferry system for a sustainable future with zero and reduced emission vessels. This includes things like all-electric and hybrid alternatives, which are just beginning to emerge in the U.S. maritime sector. That will start with a new study that will specifically focus on our vessels and changes to shoreside charging infrastructure that will be necessary to support potential changes. Through the study, which we anticipate to conclude in 2025, we also hope to collaborate with private facilities and operators throughout New York Harbor to help develop future operating and infrastructure standards. All of us standing up here only operate a portion of the ferries that run throughout New York City, so it's critical we work in collaboration with our partners in the private sector just as much as we do in government. So thanks again to Commissioners Rodriguez and Molina for your partnership, and hope to see you on board NYC Ferry soon. Thank you.
Thank you, President and Deputy Commissioner Cho. Please join us here too. And as you heard, at some point there's going to be IFP with this led by DCAS, in collaboration with DOT, and Polo Cho also is the one who oversees that unit that has to do with grants, finance, and budget. Finally, I'd like to introduce New York League of Conservation Borders Policy Director Patrick McLean to come and say a few words.
Thank you. The fight against climate change isn't measured in weeks and months, but in years and decades. And what that means practically for the city and for all of us who care about fighting climate change in the city is that what we have to keep our eyes on the target, the long-term target of getting to zero greenhouse gas emissions in every single sector of the economy where that's feasible. We also can't leave any possible emission reductions on the table in the near term. And those are the benefits that renewable diesel can deliver for New York's fleet. The city has already started making that transition on-road transportation. And we're very excited to be here today as they start making that transition with the ferry fleet as well. These are real emission reductions that are going to benefit public health throughout the city and are also going to contribute to the city's long-term goals of cutting our greenhouse gas emissions by at least 80% by 2050. So we're thrilled to be here today and would like to applaud the mayor, DOT, DCAS, EDC, and all of the other city agencies and workers who have made this possible. Thank you.
So before taking any question, as Spanish speaking myself, in a city where 30% of your city population is Hispanic, many of them Spanish speaking, let me say a few words in Spanish too. Hoy estamos aquí con la dirección del alcalde Rick Adams, con comisionado de DCAS, que es la agencia que tiene que ver con correr todo entre sus portafolios, todos los fleets, todos los contratos de la ciudad, con Luis Molina, con Andrew Kimball, presidente de la Agencia de Desarrollo Económico de la Ciudad de Nueva York, y todo el equipo de las tres agencias, anunciando de que el alcalde Rick Adams, nuestra persona, las agencias están trabajando para cambiar el tipo de combustible que se usa para Staten a la Ferry y que sean combustibles que sean reusables. De esta forma estaremos contribuyendo al medio ambiente, que sea más seguro. Vivimos Katrina, María, Aida, Sandy, tormenta de nieve, recientemente Milton y en North Carolina también. Por lo tanto, el cambio climático es real. Parte de la contaminación al medio ambiente tiene que ver con la transportación también, y es por eso de que hoy estamos tomando la medida necesaria para anunciar de que actualmente ya estaremos cambiando el tipo de combustible que usan estos ferries para que sean reusables, con el plan de que en el futuro todos los ferries también puedan ser eléctricos.